We're thankful for what's gone down, but we are moving on from the past this week on Implicit Bias Radio. We are back on the air. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon, and we are here to solve the problems of the world, one weekly whiskey at a time. The crew has assembled here in the TSPL, so let's get to it. Folks, we'd actually like to get real for a second. And reality is, some of us more than others, but we've all got baggage. Some of us are carrying around a cute little duffel bag of regrets, while others are dragging a full-on U-Haul of shame behind us like Marley's ghost in A Christmas Carol. But here's the thing. Jesus didn't happen so we could spend our lives replaying our worst mistakes like they're the Star Wars prequels. The reality is this. Dwelling on our past is about as productive as trying to teach a cat to fetch. There's a 2,000-year-old book which actually addressed much of this. So let's reference that for starters. First, there's Luke chapter 9, verse 62. It hits us with this gem. No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God. Translation, if we're looking too much into the rearview mirror while we're driving, we're going to crash, and not in a cool Fast and Furious type way, like a Mr. Bean comedy of errors is more like what we're going to do. You ever seen someone like texting and walking? We slam into poles, we trip over curbs, and occasionally we faceplant into fountains. That's us when we're obsessing over our past or maybe even just our mistakes. Look, we're not moving forward. We're just setting ourselves up for spiritual whiplash. 2 Peter, matter of fact, 2:22 drops this harshest maybe biblical burn on us. A dog returns to its vomit, and a washed pig returns to the mud. Now, look, I'm no animal expert, but even I know that's a solid ladies' man reference. Yeah, that's disgusting. Yet, how many of us do we actually ask that of ourselves? We ask God to forgive us. We get scrubbed clean, and then bam, we are right back wallowing in the same guilt, shame, or self-sabotage that we created in the first place. It's kind of like getting a brand new iPhone and immediately dunking it in the toilet because the old one did it and it was just fine. Here's the good news, though. Our past, it's not our resume. It's not our Instagram bio. It's not even our Netflix watch history, which, let's be honest, we've all got some questionable choices there. Our past, it's just the backstory. The previously on montage before the big man drops the real plot twist. And that real plot twist is this: redemption. Think about it. If God only used perfect people, the Bible would be about, 2 pages long, and it would be really, really, really boring. Moses, after all, was a murderer. David was an adulterer. Peter straight up denied Jesus 3 times before breakfast. Yet God didn't define them by their past or their mistakes, their failures. He defined them by their faith. So how do we stop dragging that dead dog of shame? Here are some thoughts. We can stop romanticizing the trash. Ever notice how in Toy Story, Sid's mutant toys were terrifying, but in the end they were kind of lovable? That's what grace does for us. Our past mistakes, they're not trophies. They're just proof that God's mercy is that good. We need to stop feeding the pigeons. You know, those people who keep bringing up our cringy middle school phases. Yeah, stop inviting them to lunch, surrounding ourselves with people who remind us that maybe this is who we were, right? We need people who remind us of who we are. We can also stop staring in our own horror movies, or stop starring in our own horror movies, whichever we prefer, as opposed to staring. We're actually not the Walking Dead. We are dead to sin and alive in the big man, which means we need to start living like the upgraded version of ourselves that we know we can be. Bottom line, the past, well, it's the past. And unless we've got a time machine, there's no changing it. So we should maybe drop the baggage, burn the old scripts, and the next time we're tempted to revisit our past, remember this: every saint had a past, and every sinner, every one of us, has a future. So coming out of Thanksgiving 2025, let's remember the good parts of this year. Model those events so we can get more of them moving forward. Learn from our past, but do not dwell inordinately. That just leads to present misery every single time. Live in the present. Look forward to the future. Our future? Our future has whiskey, some laughs, and the next couple of hours full of your implicit bias. Cheers. Post Thanksgiving Day episode here somewhere in downtown Lafayette. We got a great crew assembled for you here. Let me introduce you to everybody who's in the house. So we're going to start at the bar. We've got two faces that I don't think, Paul and Kathleen, you've ever been here before together. So we're going to start, of course, as we always would, with ladies first here in the TSPL, the Mr. Lester's TSPL. Kathleen, it is great to have you back.
Thank you. It's been a while.
I was about to say, it has been a while, and you're now getting to a point where parenthood's starting to smooth out just a bit.
We're not quite there yet.
Okay, and it's not initial parenthood. We know that this is a new one.
Number two. But this is, she's been a little bit of a handful. This has rocked my world for sure.
Hey, they are the
season,
blessing.
Though.
They
just
are
a
the
season.
blessing.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
They are the blessing. And it's so funny because people always say kids are hard. They are, but the funny part is blinking before you know it, it's over.
I know, she's already won.
That makes it seems like just yesterday you were like, hey, I can't drink on this show and I'm not going to drink. And we're like, why are you not drinking? Because we do sample whiskey on the show every week. And we're like, why? And then it made sense.
Yep.
And you were just telling us that you were getting ready for the new one.
I know. And now she's already won.
Wow. It goes by too quickly.
It does. But they're awesome. They're awesome.
The cool thing about kids is that they are each their own unique experience. And we're going to talk about that unique experience individually here on this show in just a minute. So we've got a welcome to Kathleen. Let's go to the other person at the bar, because I want to get so far ahead of this because I loved saying Paul Sabatier. Superior Audio Video. Paul is in the house. It's great to have you back, Paul.
Yes. Glad to be back.
And you and I had an opportunity to do the Turning Point USA event in Baton Rouge a few weeks ago. That was tons of fun. Your takeaway from that now that we're a couple of weeks removed?
It was really great to see. It was Mary Beth Stuckey, and she's really an incredible speaker.
Yeah.
I really wish I would have, took the chance to see Charlie whenever he was still around.
Yeah, it would have been outstanding for Charlie to have been here and had that opportunity now that we kind of got to see what those events look like.
Which means don't wait,
Correct.
If you see something you like, man, go get out and get it done.
Yeah, don't live in the past and be worried about what you missed. Go do those things you need to. Which brings us to the last guest here, who is our co-host of Implicit Bias Radio, Caleb Morse, all dressed up. We are sorry for the loss, which is why you are dressed up, but it's good to see you actually dressed like a human being.
Yeah, and it's it's good. Last week I missed, and then I missed before that for something too, I think.
No, you just had an event. I mean, we knew about that one. Last week was
just forgetfulness.
It happens.
Yeah.
Last week was one of those odd weeks where the days were off.
Way too much on my plate, way too much going on, juggled everything and sucked horribly at it.
Well, here's the fun part about Implicit Bias Radio. What it's about is taking a break, catching a little bit of time, taking that deep breath, having a weekly whiskey, solving the problems of the world so you can go deal with them later when we get out there. So let's do that in the weekly whiskey segment on this week's episode, because this is a unique one, which for Thanksgiving, I love that we all each have a unique individual experience for Thanksgiving. It's really cool. Just Kathleen, as we talked about, each child is unique, just like every whiskey we have is unique. So the fun part here is what we get to do on Implicit Bias Radio. We get to go through and taste and sample a lot of different whiskeys. What we have not done is sample multiples on a show and then hear from members of the crew as to how they like whatever whiskey they picked. So, Paul, I want to start with you because you've actually sampled two whiskeys already, which the chair of intoxication might be alive and well on this week's episode. You might want to hang on for an hour or two. Always more fun with more weekly whiskey.
Is there a chain for that?
The championship belt chain is not necessarily for multiple whiskeys, but because we're doing multiple whiskeys, this is one where I'm like, maybe we just need to award it again this week.
Yeah, I think so. I
don't necessarily know we need to worry about price because we're all thankful just to have whiskey to taste.
It's always a blessing,
It is. So, Paul, you actually got into a Louisiana offering here on the show. This comes specifically from the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective member in Opelousas, Benny's Grocery Store in Opelousas. That's right, that Good Earth. And it's a lower proof, right?
Yes. And you can definitely taste it's a lower proof. I'm more of a high proof.
Okay.
I also like sweet, which you don't really get in a higher proof. So I guess over the last months and months and months and months, maybe years, it's definitely been a lot of higher proof. And in the higher proofs, you don't get a lot of sweet.
Correct.
So with this one, I liked it. I didn't realize the aftertaste until a little bit later, but it definitely was a sweeter kind of feel.
Got a lot of smoke.
Yeah, it was smoky. Yeah, it wasn't hot, wasn't burning, didn't linger like that way. It was just smooth. But if you're more for a taste person, or if you want something that
A little bit higher proof. Yeah.
or something that just I can't. It's almost like an old fashioned, like not like a sweet one. Just it's just almost like it's mixed. And some people that I've drank with might be like, oh, like that? No, not like the one we had where it was super sweet.
So it's almost like a cocktail in a glass.
Yeah, you could say that.
And those, I think, are sometimes unique in flavor. I tasted it as well. I got a lot of sweet. I got a lot of smoke on it. I'm like you. I don't like a ton of sweet when I'm drinking whiskey. If I want a cocktail, I want the full-on cocktail. I will use Sirop de Saison, the Sirop de Claire, the Amer de Saison. That's what I'll use to make sure that cocktail is sweet, as opposed to letting the whiskey do it. Probably a very high corn mash bill.
Okay.
But this one, if you like a lot of sweet and a lot of smoke, that's probably the offering. And you like low proof, that's probably the offering.
It says 95 is a proof. I probably would have gone, I thought it would be lower, but it's still low for this show.
Well, we are proof hounds here, and Caleb's over here nose humping that 128 like he's a 2.5-year-old Labrador Retriever.
You're giving me dog ears.
That's a whole nother thing. We'll go after that in a minute. Kathleen, you grabbed that bottle of Peerless. If you can slide that forward on the bar just a bit so people can see that one.
You see?
There you go. Yeah, we got it now. By the way, if you want to see the whiskeys that we are sampling, if you want to see the show, which I apologize for the way that I look right out of the gate, my apologies. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X. Please follow, like, share, click the thumbs up, comment. It helps the show. It helps get Implicit Bias Radio out to everybody who you think might need to hear it. So, Kathleen, that Peerless, I believe, 109 on the proof, if I remember right?
Yeah, it's 109.
And you're not a high proof person.
No, I'm usually like more about the 100.
Okay.
If it gets over 100, sometimes I'm,
So you like a bottle and bond a lot of times, which is going to be right at 100.
Yes, but I like this. It is a little hot on the taste. I like the smell right off the nose. I feel like it's very vanilla-y.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that. And on the back end, I get floral, like a rose.
Okay.
But I like it. It's a little hotter than I like, but I like it. It's good.
Yeah, so when we had that one on the show a few weeks ago, I love Peerless's special stuff. Mm-hmm. Their picks, their honey barrels are really, really exceptional. And that particular Peerless, which that one actually came out of our Implicit Bias Liquor Collective partner in New Orleans, Dornax, man, really, really nice offering. And I'm a huge fan. So I got a lot of caramel. I did get some floral notes on it.
Yeah, at the
end. And I actually may need to retaste it because now that the bottle's been open a few weeks, you never know what happens when you start getting a little oxygen underneath some of these offerings, and they just get really, really, really good. Now, I'm going to jump to Caleb because this one, when I tasted it, I actually had the neck pour. And let's talk about neck pours for a minute. For those who are new to the bourbon, the whiskey
Nonsense.
World, there is a theory. Caleb, you think it's nonsense?
Yes. Because if it was real, then no bottle would have a neck.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Wait, what?
Everything would be rounded,
Flat
and
top.
you would just twist it a little bit. Because if you
That has nothing to do with the actual neck
the
pour.
first
The
first
neck
pour you
pour
got,
is the
there's no
terminology.
oxygen to it. There's no air to it. No.
The question is, much like wine, does whiskey open up as it gets air underneath it? Now, we all know,
You just drink more.
because we've got the water and whiskey at the bar, you can put a couple drops of water into whiskey and it will absolutely change the flavor because it messes with the actual chemistry in that it changes the proof point on it. Just a couple of drops will do that. But the neck pour, a lot of people think it's just the whiskey's been in the bottle. It maybe needs a little
I like
oxygen.
how you just affirmed. You said a lot of people think.
What if you turn the bottle upside down?
Yeah.
There's no neck.
It would absolutely still be the same, you people. So anyway, when I opened this bottle of Elijah Craig at 128 proof, again, this one came out of New Orleans, I was curious as to whether it would be hot at all. And the first pour out of that bottle, the nose, incredibly deceiving, but oh my goodness, that first sip, I mean, smooth like butter that had been sitting on the counter for about 6 hours. I mean, just easy drinker.
This is delicious. You get like almost a warm leather kind of smell and texture to it. Heavy caramel. Then it just finishes very crisp, long, clean, and smooth. This, no lie, the entire time I'm drinking this, I'm hearing Jay and Silent Bob sing songs in my head. Like it is just a phenomenal glass.
I will say this, and Caleb, you and I have had an awful lot of Elijah Craig private barrel or Elijah Craig barrel proof. That might be the absolute best Elijah Craig pick I've ever had. It is that good.
It finishes like with almost not coffee, but like I don't know another term, maybe a hazelnut or something like that, kind of candy at the end of it, like a toffee-ish. It just finishes so crisp, so clean. It's got legs. This is phenomenal. This is what I wanted. This is what I came here to drink.
It is that good. It is that special of a liquid that's in the bottle. Again, that can be found if you're looking for this one. If you want to go to the New Orleans area, you can go to Dornax. You can pick up that one, and you can pick up the Knob Creek that I'm about to talk about in a second.
No, wait, how's that Knob Creek? Is it good?
Well, I'm going to talk about it in a second,
Okay,
but what I'm saying is that Elijah Craig, and Paul, I actually told you, because you made a trip there, and I was like, man, the Elijah Craig, don't miss it, and you didn't buy it.
I didn't buy it. I'm about to taste it after this.
And you're about to make a special trip to NOLA, aren't you?
Yeah, you should.
I just got back. I can't go again. I just got the Peerless, and I got the Larceny, and I got the Knob Creek.
Now, you had the Peerless. You got to taste it there.
I got to taste the
and
Peerless and the Knob Creek there, and it's really good. Like, they don't taste as high proof as they are.
No, not even close.
I got to give it up to Nicole. She can definitely pick a barrel.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk the Knob Creek. So the Knob Creek comes in at 118.8 proof. And it is a pick. The first sip is a little bit aggressive, which I like. I like a little bit of aggression.
As a neck, though.
See, this is what I love. You're learning. The second sip, as I started to get some air underneath it.
Were you blowing the glass? How do you get air underneath it?
It is smooth. It is delicious. It is not a huge caramel bomb. The only way I can explain it is it starts to become heavy caramel and then stops right before it gets to that heavy caramel.
It's like
you get that little bit of sweet,
like a baking, like a.
Okay, this is the way I can explain it, and this
cookie.
This is a Caleb-esque description. My wife's family has made for generations, and my wife loves it and makes it. I'm not a huge fan because I'm not a huge pecan fan, but they make a pecan cake that has a little bit of like dark brown sugar in it, a little bit of molasses, and that little bit of pecan flavor, and almost a praline-like icing on top that is just full of pecans. It gives you that deep, dark, beautiful bourbon flavor that you would expect. It goes down incredibly smooth.
What's the proof on
it sits on the palate, 118. It sits on the palate. It's oily, so it's got a long finish. The best way for the Knob Creek drinkers out there, if you like regular Knob Creek, take everything you like about Knob Creek and inject it with steroids. Take what you don't like about Knob Creek and mute it. And that is what this is.
I would almost think this is a double oaked because
yes,
you get that smokiness right out of the gate. So, I mean, for people who don't know, I just downed my other glass. This is damn good. It is very dessert. I like the pecan reference you did. That went very well, and it brings a lot of it out.
And that is a great call on that. It has that essence of being double oaked because that essence of double oak is what I think really makes this, because you do start to get some burnt marshmallow. It's not toasted marshmallow. You get the essence of burnt marshmallow.
Yep, it's crisp.
Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
It is. And when that sits on the palate like this, man, these are really, really good. And Paul, I get why when you got to taste in the store, you were like, oh, I need a bottle of this.
Yeah.
Because
I went in to go get one. I walked out with 3.
And the fun part is we have a studio audience. We have one person here who's actually watching the show.
Audience.
Yes. And for those who know in the Lafayette area, in the bourbon, whiskey, liquor community, I'm going to pull him out of the audience closet very quickly. Justin Stewart is here with us. We're going to embarrass the heck out of him.
I really did.
And you know, you got to love it. And I know he's sitting in the corner going, oh, I tasted this, but I want to taste that and that and that and that, because that's what we do. It's meant to be consumed. It's meant to be drank with friends. It's meant to be experienced. And I think what we have here in this segment so far is 4 fantastic bottles. And Paul actually got into the 5th, which is the Implicit Bias pick from Implicit Birthday. This is available at Nunu's in Youngsville, Scott Milton, Maurice, another member of the Implicit Bias Liquor Collective.
It blew, like I got confused for a second. When you said it got into the 5th, I was like, we have priests here?
Yeah, no. Wherever there's 2 priests, there's a 5th. Father Joe's joke here on the show. So
it'll never go away.
no, that joke will never cease to be a thing on Implicit Bias Radio. We do try to keep it Catholic. None of us are perfect. We're firmly admitting that. The only person who was, we killed him on purpose. All right, so Paul, I'm curious. The pinhook, that 5-year, you're going to have to grab that microphone and eat it. I'm curious as to what you thought of that. The Implicit Bias, Implicit Birthday pick available at Nunu's.
Really good. I'm on the Elijah Craig right now, but it's great. They have a distinct flavor that I don't know, and I had asked you earlier. Is that what a corn is, or like what is that? It's got a distinct flavor that I don't recall. And
so when we reviewed that one last week, what we said was this: we said that one was a heavy bourbony McBourbon on the mash bill, which means, so when you think about the mash bill, and you asked what's the mash bill, the mash bill is the recipe. So all the grains that get mashed together in order to then ferment and distill alcohol from. Okay. That's the recipe that makes up any particular bottle of whiskey. So that would here be like in the Mr. Lester's TSPL.
That would be a hard grain finish.
So a bourbon, by definition, a bourbon has to meet some criteria. The biggest criteria probably of them all is that it has to have a mash bill that the grains are 51% corn. That is probably a higher mash bill than 51% corn. It might be a 60 or 70% corn mash bill on that particular distillate that turned into that 5-year-old bourbon.
And I don't recall it wasn't hot. It was super smooth.
And it's 118, 114 on the proof, 119. I mean, it's up there.
High,
yeah, it's up there. Walker's telling us we got 1 minute, and Walker has a microphone. I don't even know why we give him a microphone anymore. He never talks anymore, but we do have some sports-related things on the show. So you know what? We might as well just go ahead and we'll bring him in those segments. For right now, we're just going to leave him in the corner. We do need to award the What Would You Pay Championship belt chain, Caleb.
Yes.
I'm going to let you award it. Who do you think should get it this week?
Paul.
Okay, Paul, winner. So ring the bell, please.
Well, and mainly just because, the Marines just had their 250th birthday coming up and all that kind of stuff. So you have to suffer a little.
There you go.
He's on his 3rd glass. Let me just tell you that. So
I think he's on his 4th.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. The chair of intoxication might be alive and well. This is Implicit Bias Radio, the stories that you need when we come back. I don't know what Caleb Morse is doing here in the Mr. Lester's Top Secret podcast layer. I'm glad that we have the edit button, because basically the last
you didn't
6
know what
seconds
that was?
of the commercial.
That was Jay and Silent Bob.
No.
Oh,
yes.
100%.
1, 2, 1,
that
2,
was Mallrats.
Yeah. Yes.
It's been a while for Mallrats. Mallrats was not one. I saw it and it was one of those I was like, it kind of went. You know what I remember about Mallrats was the soundtrack from Mallrats is what I remember. Right? The songs that were on that were just classic.
Well, that's what I was singing.
That's not that.
Outside the
outside. They're outside the convenience store.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to
$15, little man.
We have to shift gears. We have to shift to $15, little man. Yes, that.
Yes.
Okay, so we are not talking about living in the past, but the past does set the frame for the future. So let's talk about the past, right? Speaking of music and soundtracks, anybody remember a group called the Fugees?
Yes.
Wait, what do you mean, Kathleen? You need the microphone. We can't hear you.
Sorry, I said yes.
Actually, I think you said Killing Me Softly.
Yes. It's like the best.
Okay, so basically all they did was take somebody else's work.
I know, but it's really good.
It was a good cover. Can't lie. Still a cover.
Yes, still a cover.
Yeah.
But can't lie, was a good cover. I wonder if they will be playing Killing Me Softly for the next 14 years.
In prison?
Pound Me in the federal prison.
Oh, ouch.
Because that's where Praz Mitchell is going. Now, first of all, the Fugees. I remember, who was it, Lauryn Hill?
Yes.
Yep.
She could sing. Great voice. Who was the other one? The other guy?
Wyclef.
Was it Wyclef Jean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember.
It was Wycliffe.
Then there was the guy that nobody knew who he was and nobody cared.
Now we know.
Now we know.
$120 million says someone knows.
Okay, so here's the story.
Dun, dun,
Walker's still
dun.
lost.
The story, because Walker
Does he
doesn't.
not get the?
No.
No,
Oh,
probably
he's
before
not
his
on the email
time.
chain.
No,
Oh,
he
yeah,
no,
doesn't
he,
know who
no,
they are.
he gets all the stories.
But he doesn't know who these people are.
Well, Walker can't read. We know what schools he went to, so
That's not nice. Poor Walker.
he figured out how to work the audio.
Do you know the song?
No, I have no clue.
Can you play it at least so you know?
No, we don't have time.
We'll do it later. We'll do it in the
man.
break.
Again, we did this in the last show. Ain't nobody got time for that. Anyway, so Praz Mitchell from the Fugees has been sentenced to 14 years in prison for laundering election money
Into what president's campaign fund?
for, take a guess who?
Was that in the 90s or like?
No.
Oh, no.
It'd be like 2012.
2000. Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
No, 2008.
2008.
2012.
Yep, 2008 was the campaign.
Obama.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah,
Say it
yeah.
again. Say it again and ring the bell.
Obama.
Ring the bell. Okay, so remember on this show when we talked about foreign money being funneled back into the U.S. into politics?
No.
How convenient, as Dana Carvey would say on Saturday Night Live, back when they were actually funny. Praz Mitchell has been convicted in federal court of laundering over $100 million into the campaign of Barack Hussein Obama.
Okay, you can't tell me that he doesn't know that either.
What
Okay, so first of all, who's he?
Barack Obama
Oh,
doesn't know
whoa,
that this is
whoa,
happening?
whoa.
You mean he just
Or
accepted
is he
the
taking
money?
the fall for it?
How
See,
dare you?
I'm just saying. It's a logical
Okay.
explanation, right?
It is.
What
It is
I
very
love-
logical.
what I love about this show is that we try to leave the breadcrumbs, and Kathleen went from the first breadcrumb straight to the plate of bread right there.
That's
She
right.
just nailed it. She's like, don't tell me Barack doesn't know.
Yep.
I didn't want
Because-
anybody to be confused.
So let's be honest. If I pay $75 for something, $50 for something, I definitely want what I paid for.
Oh, you want to get that ROI.
Oh, so for the people who live in, as Rush Limbaugh used to say, Rio into California, what does ROI stand for?
Return on investment.
The return on investment. So wait, Caleb, you're telling me that for investors, so let's talk about the conviction. The conviction is for, please don't believe me, look this up, laundering foreign money into the campaign for Barack Hussein Obama. So foreign influence
Yeah.
into U.S. politics is what he was convicted for, laundering that money. So what you're telling me, Caleb, is that a foreign investor might want a return on the investment of over $100 million into the U.S. presidential campaign?
I mean, it's not a gift.
So we know it's foreign. Do we know what foreign? Like, is it part of the Russia, part of the buying of uranium? Like what? Like where?
Oh, no, uranium.
Malaysia.
No, uranium.
It's
So hold on.
Malaysian.
So hold on.
the prime
Uranium.
rib of Malaysia.
Huh?
Uranium was not Obama's thing.
But it was under his watch.
Uranium was
Hillary.
somebody.
But that was his Secretary of State.
That's a whole nother revenue generating source, not the campaign.
So he would have had. They would have had to donate to her.
So
I don't know how that works.
everybody's got their hand out.
Right.
This is the one thing that, look, I'd love to say I've seen it. I've got proof. But what I will say is if you look at political history, the probability that a politician has their hand out is about 99.9%,
Right.
as opposed to the possibility that they do. The possibility is 100%. The probability is about 99.
But so we know it came from overseas. Do
Correct.
we know where overseas? Like, do
It
we
was-
know
it-
how? Like, because you could link that easily.
Well, it was multiple
if they
straw.
got the
It was
return on
multiple straw
investment.
donors from Malaysia. They were able to trace it all back to Malaysia.
So that's as far as they could go. But here's the point.
What did they do in Malaysia?
Here's the point. Did the money really come from Malaysia? This is our
A
suspicion.
laundering.
Our-
Like,
well,
hey,
there you
look,
go.
we did
That's
here,
how you
and-
launder money. You keep processing it
Yeah.
through different entities, with each entity taking just a little bit here and there
I'm
in order to make it
100%
work.
against foreign money coming into here
Well, I absolutely agree.
and
Foreign
our
money
going foreign.
should not be involved in U.S. politics.
100%.
By the way, for those who might say, oh, you guys are partisan, yeah, we are. We're on our side not the politician side. So we don't care what politician it is. If there's foreign money and we've got it proven in a court of law, I kind of think that sounds like sedition, like treason.
100%.
Because that is advocating for a foreign government in U.S. politics and tying a financial incentive to it. That's the problem. And that's the big problem here, because like Kathleen said, don't tell me that there wasn't a meeting, that there wasn't a handshake. Don't tell me that there wasn't something that the candidate said, okay, I know what the request is that I have to fulfill to get this $100 million.
I mean, it's not like it's
$120 million.
$5. I mean, that's a lot of money.
It could be, it could be like the movie Better Off Dead. I mean, think about this. In the movie Better Off Dead, the paperboy was chasing basically the main character to his death for $2. I want my $2. Right?
$2 is a lot of money. It really is. I have to work hard for that.
Yeah.
I agree. But you can't tell me he didn't know. It's not like it's $5. This is
This is hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I am not going to invest 100. Think about it this way. Don't think about what I would do. Don't think about what Caleb would do, because that would get you arrested. Don't think about what Kathleen would do or Paul would do. Think about what you would do.
Wait, I'm the only one that would get arrested?
I'm pretty sure
we all would.
I'm pretty sure what would you do would the same as yours.
Well, let me fulfill the sentence, right? What would you, if you're listening to this show, what would you want if you were going to give someone $100 million?
Go.
Paul wants what? Cocaine and strippers? I don't know.
Office Space. Just
Yeah, there you go. That's the Office Space reference, right?
Honestly, I want the ability to give away $120 million.
I would love that as well.
Feel it. That's
Well, even then,
what I would want.
let's look at it from a mathematical point of view, right? So you give somebody $120 million. You make that donation, so then you get that removed from your taxes. We'll call it here in the U.S.
No, it's foreign money. There's no U.S. taxes involved.
We'll stick it here in the U.S., right?
Okay.
So you have to remove it from your taxes. So then that's a small percentage of the money you were supposed to spend. But then you want to get that return on investment. Well, at that point in donation, it takes a 45% ROI to break even because you're being taxed at the highest bracket. So Walker, you have a phone right there? So what's 120 million times 1.45? A little bit faster, please. Come on.
170-ish million?
No.
That's 6 digits, by the way.
Yeah. I know your thumbs work really well.
I'm telling you, it's roughly 170 million.
So 1.45.
174 million.
There you go. So somebody's going to want back.
Don't doubt my math skills, punk.
To break even. Just to break even, they want 174 to where it costs them net zero.
You know,
would they do that for net zero?
Well, here's the interesting part. I start thinking about what legislation was passed that would have generated that kind of revenue. And then I look at my health insurance bills.
Oh, wow. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Then
we had that happen. We had solar. We had wind.
Solar and wind are good ones, because if you think about there was the solar company that went out of business.
Solaris.
It was $400 million investment from the U.S. government
In California.
That went all of a sudden bankrupt and didn't deliver anything. They delivered nothing. So this could be healthcare. This could be solar. This could be wind. This could be all kinds of legislation that was just rammed through.
They got the Nobel Peace Prize for the promise.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yes, there was a Nobel Peace Prize awarded before anyone had done anything.
Solar friendly. They just never fulfilled anything.
No, never fulfilled anything. But that's the point, right? The point is, the past is your frame of reference. And we are not attempting to dwell inordinately on the past. What we want you to do is understand the past so we don't repeat it. In other words, if there's foreign money coming in and Praz Mitchell wants to donate, a guy who doesn't have $120 million to donate to a presidential campaign, maybe we should learn from it, and maybe not taking that. Maybe that should be part of our implicit bias. We'll be back. Final segment of hour 1 right after this. So disappointing on Implicit Bias Radio when the things that we actually had in the past and that we held up in the past as standards have absolutely eroded. I'm Kevon Bordelon. This is Implicit Bias Radio. We appreciate you listening. And if you want to watch, if you Well, that's a whole different thing. No, if you want to watch the show, you
my
can find
God.
us. What?
Okay.
You have no room.
Yeah, Caleb has no room to talk.
Okay.
It just wasn't all on air.
All right.
We are having too much fun in the Mr. Lester's Top Secret podcast. They're located somewhere in Lafayette, Louisiana. But if you want to watch the show, you can find us, and that's where I was going. Get your minds out of the gutter. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, X, Facebook. Please like, follow, subscribe, share. It helps the show. It helps you get out your implicit bias. So I used to work at WWL TV in New Orleans years ago. You knew this.
I did. I know.
Yeah, don't act surprised, you schmuck. Anyway.
That's where you cut your teeth.
It is. And WWL TV was known, especially when I was growing up, 80s, 90s.
Truth seekers and truth sayers.
Oh, it was one of the standards of journalism in the entire southern United States for decades.
That's so good of what they used to be.
And they had so many people who came out of WWL TV that made it to national, that were offered national deals that said, no, I'm not going to take it. But they were known for being really good for telling the truth. And I'll never forget a lesson I learned from one of the assistant news directors at WWL, because I was standing there in the newsroom, we were watching the 6 o'clock news across all the different stations, and one of the other stations had a story. And I said, hey, I actually know somebody affiliated with that story. If you want, I can make a phone call. And the news director looked at me and he said, never, ever confuse what the competition is doing with what you're doing if what you're doing is better. So don't be concerned with what they're doing. What we had was more important, it was more impactful, and it was the truth. And then, please don't believe us, go look this up. You get WWL TV in New Orleans admitting that they will not use a legally appropriate term, the truth, in New Orleans.
And he did say the legal definition.
He says it, but then says we're not going to use it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kathleen. I'll explain in a second.
But he says the legal definition, and then he says that he uses a
It's a feeling term.
Spanish
It's some okay.
term
So
or something.
So let me explain what this is. The broadcaster says the legal term for someone who is in this country who is not here legally is an illegal immigrant. He says that is the legal term. But we follow the Hispanic broadcasters and whatever it is. Now, here's
Which
the
is
problem.
undocumented.
Here's the problem I have with this. So you're telling me that the only people who are here illegally are Hispanic?
No.
This is why you have the legal term.
Yeah.
The reason you have the legal term is because you have people who are here who are not just Hispanic. They might be Middle Eastern. They might be European. They might be British.
Just because they come in from Mexico, that border,
They-
doesn't mean they're
They might be
from
Iranian.
Mexico.
They might be Iranian. They might be Russian. They might be Ukrainian. It doesn't matter where they came from. That's why you have the legal definition, because they can be from anywhere.
See, and like I wanted to call myself like depositedly deficient.
Is the chair of intoxication
No.
sitting in the
I
co-host
just don't.
right now?
I don't know how to
Hey,
say.
this thing's heavy, so I can handle it.
Like I don't know the proper term for it. Like I'm deficient in deposits in my bank account. Would that be a term they would use?
Neglect.
Well, look, we might need to go down the path of like the,
I mean, we can
the
make all
certified wizard of tobacco who likes to use the word. That is male bovine excrement.
Yeah, we could make up terms for whatever we want, but that doesn't change what it really is.
Okay, so this brings us to where I really wanted to go in this segment, which is this. Euphemisms are a problem. And for those who don't know what a euphemism is, it is a nice term for something that is not nice that makes it more palatable. Sometimes
Bless her heart.
that's not even a euphemism.
That's like empathy, right?
Sometimes you don't need to call someone who physically beats the hell out of his wife a domestic abuser. You call him a wife beater because that's what he is. He beats his wife. He's not a domestic abuser. He's a wife beater because the words matter. So an undocumented whatever, no. Sometimes you need the word because the word describes more than just what the euphemism tries to make the feeling about the words mean.
They tried to change the word for pedophile to something else.
A map, a minor attracted
yeah.
person.
Yeah,
Yes. Guess what? You're not
It
a map.
sound-
You're a pedophile.
It sounds a lot
That's
like
what it
speed
is.
bump. I don't know how to say that another way. So
But
yeah.
Honestly, I the part where the news really does matter, and what they do does matter.
It does.
But as a point of what they want to do, that's it's been a saying that I've always said is like we have to have the ignorance to be able to say, well, the hell are they doing? I think it still boils down. I'd rather see the first. If we had to say, I want you to call this over this, or hey, I want you to. We've always had laws on the border.
Correct.
But when a politician or a president or somebody says, well, I'm not going to enforce those rules, I think that's way more dangerous than calling a word.
Well,
but I don't want to say that it's not important.
But here's the point. Because the way that they say we're not going to enforce it is that they create a new word. And they say these words are not the same thing. And that's exactly what WWL is doing here. They are saying that an undocumented XYZ, whatever it is not the same as an illegal immigrant. No, it is.
It is. Yeah.
And understand, we are not against immigration here on Implicit Bias Radio.
Right.
Not at all. Just do it the right way. Well, there's a right way to do it.
And then, and with all this, so you do hear about the 6-month guy that came with his parents illegally because that administration never enforced the rules.
And there's the problem.
Now he's 35. He's paying taxes. He has his own family. I do feel for that person, but we need to have our laws that they have to start understanding hey, man, they shouldn't they don't even know anybody in Mexico. This is my problem. This is my problem with the way the administration, unfortunately, I think has to handle this, which is there needs to be a process set up for expedited review.
There does.
Of scenarios where someone should be.
Like those instances, yeah.
Those instances, right? It's not their fault that their parents came across illegally and didn't set it up. And to that point, you've got to draw that line somewhere. There has to be, for lack of a better term, a but scenario.
Right. And I think Republicans get, because they do, I don't believe in illegal immigration. And Mary Beth does explain it very well in her books, but you have to have the law.
Here's the bigger thing. The bigger thing is, if I were to go to Great Britain, to France, Germany, Spain, Italy, Brazil, Venezuela, anywhere. And I immediately walk in the door and go, now you pay me. Guess what? That's not right either. Yeah. This is about the principle of how this should work. And that's where the argument really is. And the effort to change the terminology is an effort to completely destroy the principle of the matter.
When it diminishes the work of the individuals that do it the right way.
Correct.
I mean, we had so many interpreters and people that we worked with when I was overseas who were more American than Americans.
Oh, I believe that.
And they risked their lives, their families' lives.
100%.
And now they've spent years, decades, and they're U.S. citizens.
Yeah.
And when someone does it the other way, it diminishes the work they put in. And look, should it have been that hard? Hell no. Hell no.
I'm a firm believer that a military-aged male who hits the United States, who then serves 2 years in the United States military, it's automatic. 4. Okay, Paul thinks 4. But regardless, serve a certain amount of time in the U.S. military, automatic, rubber stamp, done.
But you got to fix everything. That's the problem. That's the problem.
There's so much more work that has to be done.
So it's not a black or white anything. Yeah. It really is. But you should stop the whatever process it is now and start looking at the people that are here already, that are contributing, that aren't felons.
We have so many people.
We have a lot of good
here.
people here.
And therein lies some of the instances that we have seen and some of the problems that we have seen. Again, don't believe me on this. The headlines are out there. You can find them on X. You can find these stories all over the place. 500,000 people on just federal programs that are not only collecting one, but are collecting double. And as Walker gives me the finger, and this is the one time that it is a hard out. And that is, by the way, that is a broadcasting term, nothing else. This is a hard, what, Caleb?
Oh, you're good.
Your mind, your mind is in the gutter. You know what, though? If you want more fun, hour 2 of Implicit Bias Radio, don't miss it. There's more weekly whiskey. We've got more tastings. We've got more stories that you don't want to miss. And yes, some of them come from the world of sports on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. Cheers. We'll see you in hour 2. We're hoping Walker will do his job here on Implicit Bias Radio in hour 2 because he's just sitting in the corner. And, I gotta figure we're going to talk a lot of stuff here in hour 2. We'll talk more weekly whiskey. We will talk sports. We will talk the Bible and everything in between. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon, here in the Mr. Lester's top secret podcast lair. We've got a fantastic crew here this week. And it's funny because I think this is the first time we've ever had these 4 people in the same room. At the bar, the Mr. Lester's TSPL bar, Kathleen Terrio. Kathleen, the real deal. It's great to have you back.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's so much fun to have your sense of humor back as well because you are willing to have a sense of humor that is not fit for terrestrial radio.
Yes.
And
that's why it's off air.
Are you saying she's
typically-
extraterrestrial?
No, what I'm saying is she's not a typical female sense of humor on the show, which is absolutely fantastic.
It's awesome. I love it.
We love having you here. It's great to have you back. We've also got Paul Sabatier, who farts in your general direction.
The 4 horsemen.
Your mother smelled of elderberries and your father was a hamster. Anyway.
I fought in your direction.
There we go.
Not
Of
here.
superior audio video. Yeah, not at the bar.
Not here.
And of course, we've got our co-host who's back in the TSPL. He remembered this week.
I did. It was in my calendar.
Yeah, it was good to have you back, Caleb.
Yeah.
Great to have you with us. Okay, and then of course, we've got Walker in the corner.
Wearing his
So
Whose shorts are really
3
short,
inch.
as much of y'all said.
Yeah,
And
3
now
inch
I
and
see
see.
it. I'm
Okay.
like,
It's
I
when I
can't
sit
unsee it.
down.
Oh, yeah, I love the
Oh, come on.
excuse.
They're like 3 or 4 inches when you stand up.
Remember your silkies, right? And you had to do the prep before you sat down.
The
He
green
doesn't
shorts
prep.
from
Yeah. PT.
Yeah.
He doesn't prep when he sits down. It's the weirdest thing.
Couple of things. Number one, the chair of intoxication in full effect here on Implicit Bias Radio. Yeah, he's wearing the What Would You Pay championship belt chain presented by Box Drop of Lafayette. I love the fact that he is actually acknowledging, for those of you who have not seen the show, we don't actually have a shot of Walker, but Paul just confirmed, independent confirmation that the shorts Walker wears are too short for TV. Yeah, here in the TSPL, and we just have too much fun sometimes with whiskey here on the show. So before we go into the topics that we have for this segment, Caleb, we are still technically in November this weekend when this show airs, which means that Mr. Lester's, they've got a weekly whiskey special.
Oh, wait, I have to remember this.
Oh, do you not remember? Paul remembers?
There was a lot of whiskey that night.
Oh, there was a lot of whiskey.
We drank all the E.H. Taylor. We
We didn't drink all of it, but that's not the special.
Oh, no. It is small batch, 1792.
It is 1792 pours at what?
$5.
$5, Bob. Yes. Tell them you want the implicit bias pour. $5, $17.92. The question is, what do they have left? Because they had some sweet.
We drank
they
a
had
lot
some
of the full proof.
They had some full proof. They had some small batch. They had some single barrel. They had some cognac cask. They had a lot. Kathleen?
That was this 2 weekends ago that I
Yeah,
missed.
that was winter implicit dinner, which
You-
you missed.
Dang, I
You missed a great
It was
time.
my 20-year high school reunion. So I went home.
Oh, you went to that?
And
Okay,
those people,
shut up.
you care
Yes, I
about
went-
them more than the crew?
I did it because my best friend flew in from New York and we went together.
You could have just had them come hang out with us.
I know, but we went. It was fun.
I don't.
Hey, it was cool. I mean, I graduated with a bunch of people. So I graduated with like 1,000 kids.
I mean, our 20th
Okay,
high
fair.
school graduation was held at like St. Landry Parish Jail.
Okay, well, that's your problem. I'm from Texas. Remember, we're way more bougie.
Much higher standards. much
Yeah.
higher standards.
Ours was at a brewery.
Oh, yeah, it's really nice.
And look,
That's
if
good.
it makes you feel any better, Kathleen, Paul wasn't there either.
Oh, so you missed it too?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul missed it as well.
I know.
So
We'll
it-
catch the next one.
it is what it is. He was there. He had something to do with his kids, which is what we would say on Implicit Bias Radio. That takes precedent.
Yes.
All day, every day, and twice on Sundays.
Which
That
they
takes
do
precedent.
grow up super fast.
They do.
Freshman and 6th grade.
Oh, it is. You know, when you look back and you remember when they're 1 year old, when they're 3 and 4 and all that, now you got to. How old are yours?
Mine are 23 and nope. Yeah, 23 and 19.
And mine are 20 and 16.
Yeah, but I'm old with a 1-year-old. Let's remind you. I'm 39
You know how
with a
that
1-year-old.
happens.
So let's see.
Blessings.
At 15, you'll be what, 53, 54?
Oh, shit.
Kathleen will be 29 and 15 tenths, right?
Thank God at that point in life they won't throw newspapers anymore because you won't be able to pick that up.
Hey, Kathleen, you do know what causes that, right?
Okay, but my husband's older.
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. Okay, so let's
But we do have older children too.
let's
Remember,
hey,
we have the whole spectrum
When I look at
This
when
is-
I look at Brett, I do think Silver Fox. So yeah,
with no hair.
No, like Silver Fox. Like, it's still there.
Wait, Caleb, you're attracted to Brent, is what you're saying?
Are you attracted to my husband?
He's
Do I need to tell Brett that
he's a nice looking man.
he is? You're right.
And look,
he is. He's bald.
he's bald, but it's a silver. He's a silver fox.
He's hot. I know.
Oh, this rap.
But I'm not sure how silver fox.
You can have silver. It's in his eyebrows.
It's
not
coming
really.
out in his beard. I love
nice,
it.
nice save, Caleb. Nice save. Because the silver can be other places too.
Oh gosh, I love this silver.
Yeah.
Okay, we are pulling out of that.
We digressed.
I know, but my husband is hot. I'll
We are
say that.
absolutely pulling out of this conversation.
I'm a fan.
And we are going to a different one. So let's go to this one. The sports conversations that we are going to dive into are absolutely monumental because
Great segue.
the sports news. The sports news is apparently extracting its 30 pieces of silver from everything.
Ooh.
Yeah, you like that segue?
That was good.
You can take that and stick it. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is the crazy part. So first of all, gambling in sports has just gone way too far. We have another coach who has been suspended for gambling, and now because y'all went down that
When
rabbit
did we
hole,
get to the
I've gotta
point where
pull the
like
story up?
$5 million a year wasn't a good enough salary?
TCU coach, and this is according to College Football News on X, TCU coach Sonny Dykes under investigation for illegal gambling operations while coaching TCU. TCU has put Dykes on leave effective immediately.
That's a lot of Dykes.
For the Horned Frogs.
Ring the bell. That's just
So
that is a triple
TCU
entendre that just keeps
give
rolling.
give me like what school is TCU?
That's the purple.
Texas Christian University.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, even better.
The Horned Frogs.
Yes,
He's-
that is their mascot.
Even better. He's
horned toads.
Oh, man.
The toads, frogs,
The 30
toads.
pieces of silver makes so
Whatever it
much more
is.
sense now because
Okay.
old Judas here.
So hold on. So first of all, let's start here. The money that is now involved in college sports.
well, NIL, everything else, like there's a ton of money in there
I
for
think
the athletes and for the coaches.
I think there's more money than people ever imagined. And I don't mean like, we get it that this coach is being paid $10 million a year, 10-year, $100 million contract, aka Brian Kelly, whatever people are apparently offering Lane Kiffin. I mean, when you start going down those avenues, people are like, man, that's a lot of money. That's a drop in the bucket. That's the point, is that what we are hearing about is a drop in the bucket. And start to think about these coaches because we're forgetting you had an NBA coach that the FBI picked up for illegal gambling. You had the Alabama head baseball coach a couple of years ago who got nabbed because he knew his starting pitcher wasn't going to play on a Friday, allegedly. Then allegedly called his buddy at a Major League Baseball stadium and had him place allegedly a $10,000 bet.
You know, good for him. That's not insider trading. Who is he? A congresswoman?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The Nancy Pelosi-esque trades here are insane. Kathleen, what you looking at?
Okay, so the article that you sent said that he got paid for the losses, right? Or he got paid to lose.
So the investigation, the allegations, and I'm not even going to go into whether he got paid to lose, but whatever it was. What I'm saying is you have a coach that is allegedly betting on his own team
against his own team.
Yes.
I mean, their record is 7-4. That's what I'm looking up. And they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, they're 11th.
Yeah,
So if they, I mean,
middle of the barrel, just making money, right?
And
Fish-
understand
big fish don't see you. Small fish, you're nothing to worry about.
and understand here
Four
the
and four in
biggest
conference.
right, they're 4-4 in conference.
So
the
they're never
biggest
11th
money
in their
the
conference.
biggest money
They're the way down.
isn't on win or lose. The biggest money is on what, Caleb? Because I see you smiling.
It's not even the draw.
No, it's the way that here on Implicit Bias Radio, it's the way we like them. It's the spread.
That's right.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, what?
That's right.
Where's your?
Okay,
I'm
well, they're
talking,
4-4.
the over under?
No.
Kathleen,
It's not
Kathleen,
record.
Kathleen, I'm
You
talking.
look at LSU.
I know
Kathleen,
that.
I'm talking about sports betting.
It's that
I'm
over-
talking about the spread in
It's
sports
the
betting.
over under spread. That's where you make your money.
Someone said.
It's not even the over-under spread. It's the spread of the game. It's does TCU win, but maybe they
Yeah.
don't win by 20, which is
Yeah,
the spread.
yeah.
They win by 10.
Yep.
So they lose the overall bet, but they don't lose the game.
We were talking about that this weekend. LSU had won. It was supposed to be 22-0. So they were picked to win by 22. And somebody even said, "Man, if I would have just bet against LSU this whole season, I'd be freaking rich."
Okay, so now we bring in Walker, and this is the fun part. So Walker, did you pay attention to who'd the Browns play this week?
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Me and my
I-
buddies were talking about that.
I knew this would get Walker involved.
Practiced.
So Walker, who did the Browns play this week?
the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Oh gosh.
Texas
What? You want to tell us what happened in that game?
Yeah, it was the over-under was set at 43.5, 40. It was a small over-under. It might have been even smaller than
The
that.
over-under, I think, was 37.
Yeah, 37. And I think it was the Browns. They had the ball at the
Correct.
Raiders' 29-yard line.
Correct.
28-yard line, something
Late in
like
the fourth
that.
quarter.
Late in the fourth quarter. It's fourth down. They were going to kick a field goal like it's a regular field goal NFL.
It is. I don't think we've ever seen an NFL team consistently, because never is a thing, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a thing in the NFL that you punt from the 29-yard line.
And they punted from the 29-yard line. And the over didn't hit.
In other words, you had a game that was about to go over in the NFL. And I'm not saying the NFL is rigged. It's rigged. Sorry. Can somebody say God bless you?
Entertainment.
Thank you.
Entertainment rigged.
Somebody say God bless you? Because I
God
sneezed.
bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to say.
De nada. So, y'all know what that means in Spanish? Yeah. Caleb knows.
I don't.
The bar doesn't.
Tell us.
It means thank you.
I know Donato
Oh.
means.
Yeah.
I'm
So
from
I
Texas.
thought that was gracias.
this is true. No. If someone says God bless you in Spanish, you say de nada.
Not gracias.
No, not gracias.
What does
so,
gracias mean?
Gracias does mean thank you, but not for that situation, because it's a love language. So you've got situational language. Anyway, see, you learn something. Yes,
I love you too, Kavan.
it's a language based in Latin, the traditional love languages: Spanish, French, Italian. Those are your love
You're
languages.
digressing. Rabbit hole.
Anyway, so yes, pull us out of the rabbit hole. We'll pull out. Anyway, so the
I love
field
this.
goal would have put the game
Over.
in the over. And we don't see NFL teams punt from the 29-yard line of the opposition. I don't know that I've
Someone has
ever
to make
seen a
good on
punt
that
from the
bet.
29.
I've never seen that.
If
The
anything,
LSU, you
and
don't
this
even
is the
punt
thing.
from the 4-yard line. I mean,
This is
or
true.
Field goal.
You don't even attempt a field goal from the 4-yard line. But the point is, in the NFL, at the very worst, you go for it on fourth down. You don't punt the ball away, because if you go for it on fourth down, what could happen? Walker, what could happen if you go for it on fourth down from the 29 in the NFL?
You can either get it or you can't.
Or you could score,
Yeah, that too.
which would do what?
The over would hit.
Send the game to the over.
Yes. Which is more important.
So this is where, to me, we start to look at all of this and go, man, is there money involved? And there's so much money involved. I think people are so believing that there's money involved and it's nefarious that we actually had a huge story go viral that wasn't even true.
But we had said the NFL was an entertainment. Is the college entertainment, or is that a sports?
I don't know how colleges are listed. That's a whole nother
So
legal
that's where
issue.
I would like to see. Like, all right, just let people know. Like, that's my key. Like, hey, look, this is entertainment
Oh,
purposes.
yeah, but if they let people know, everyone's illusion of what is real is shattered.
Once there's two commas in anything,
It's rigged.
it's
yeah,
rigged.
fair.
Yeah.
There's insider trading at some
Is
point.
comma to the top included, or just the
Okay,
comma to the
so
bottom?
so here's where we go with the stories
tippy
that,
top.
that people have started to believe, because I think everybody understands and believes that everything's rigged. So NIL is a thing. I think everybody just automatically believes it's all rigged. Nobody's shocked anymore. To the point where a story came out that was intended to be a joke about NIL. And it was saying that the University of Texas, El Paso, which is located, and I'm trying to remember where in Texas it's located. It's literally right on the border. Yeah,
El-
but I'm trying
El
to
Paso's
El Paso,
right
yes. It's El Paso, and you've got Juarez right over the
Yeah.
border.
Right there.
Thank you for the geography help there, Caleb.
Yeah,
but you've
I
got
tried.
literally Juarez 12 seconds away
Yeah.
from where UTEP, University of Texas El Paso, plays football. And somebody put on Instagram that UTEP, and they put it on X too, that UTEP was getting their NIL funding from the Mexican cartels, and it went viral.
Millions of views.
Okay, so Caleb, tell us about this, because you did a lot of research on
Yeah,
this.
so like when I saw it, I was like, "Holy crap! This is it came out. Someone said the things you say in private," and I started researching, looking at it, and then I found the original poster, and they said, "No, this was satire." And I was like, "Wait! They said it was satire, and then millions of reposts later, we don't know that it's satire because it's that believable." Because we wouldn't be surprised by the fact that the cartel was funneling money through colleges here in the United States.
And there's the problem. is that you've got so much money involved. Remember when I said just minutes ago in this segment, people think that the $100 million contract for the coach is a big deal. The $100 million contract for the coach is a drop in the bucket when you look at money that is wagered,
Number of players.
that is sponsored, that is advertised, that is subscribed. Because now if you think about every subscription service that wants you to pay just to watch a game that was free 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Is it Oregon that's sponsored primarily by Nike?
Yes.
I mean, look at the money that they spend right there in that one college. Look at the money Nike spends right there.
Yeah.
And how it
Nike's-
affects.
Nike's in Malaysia.
Which brings us back to Kraz Mitchell wondering if Nike was the one. We're not connecting that dot necessarily.
Yeah, I mean,
But look, we do love supposition here on Implicit Bias Radio. So go ahead, ring the bell. Yep. Paul gets to ring the bell because he did connect the dot. Wait, Kathleen rang the bell.
I think he
But
connected a check.
Kathleen rang the bell for Paul, right? Because Paul gets a bell ring. There's a bad joke there, and I just can't.
what's the Blondie that sang that?
No, I don't think Blondie was Ring My Bell.
No, that was
No, that was
the 60.
yeah, that was
Walker. Who was that?
Oh, Walker has no idea.
What's the roller coaster song? B-52? Is that them?
Oh, that was not
Roller
the
Coaster of
B-52s who
Love?
did Ring My Bell.
No?
Dear,
Okay,
we are going down a bad rabbit hole here. This is
Anita Ward?
but the whole Anita Ward. Yes, that sounds correct.
She has her phone out. She's
Kathleen,
cheating.
ring the bell. Tell Walker to take his finger and stick it. Lean in the microphone, please.
Oh. What I was supposed to tell him?
Tell Walker to take his finger and stick it.
Okay, take your finger and stick it.
Oh,
Come on.
Walker.
Come on, dude.
Okay.
It's like I'm going
Okay.
to MEPS all
Wait, he
over
turned
again.
me off.
Well played.
Okay, that was good.
And
Okay,
you're-
ring the bell for Walker because that was good.
And Kathleen, guess what? You are not the first woman that Walker has turned off. We'll be back with more right here on Implicit Bias Radio in hour 2. The past is the past on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. The stories are fun. Many of them we can't tell on the air, but trust me, it's all about your implicit bias. I'm your host, Kevon Bordelon. We've got a great crew here in the Mr. Lester's TSPL this week. By the way, if you want to see what we look like, first of all, I apologize for me, not everybody else. Find us on X, find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram, find us on Facebook, subscribe, like, follow. It helps your implicit bias. So let's start at the bar. We'll let the crew introduce themselves. Kathleen, the real deal Terrio. It's a pleasure to have you back. Uh-oh, what did you just sample?
What did you just give me? The larceny?
Yes.
Oh,
Shit. I mean,
no,
shoot.
we gotta edit that.
Sorry.
That's all right.
I'm just giving him work. I'm just giving him work to
Cola.
do.
That just
Walker just got some editing work.
My
It's
bad,
okay.
bro.
good for you. He has to work for a living.
Okay,
Wow.
what's the matter, Kathleen?
I just wasn't expecting that.
Does
It's
it-
really good, actually, but that first sip, I was like, holy crap. It caught me by surprise. You set me up. He set me up.
That is Paul Sabatier setting you up
He
at
did.
the bar.
He set me
Yeah.
up.
The
for sure.
saboteur.
I will pour in your direction.
Oh, there we go. That is his nickname. He is the Saboteur.
Oh, okay.
Paul, the Saboteur Sabatier of Superior AV. Paul, it's great to have you here as well. Hopefully you're enjoying this night. I know, you made the comment when I said, hey, record on this night. And you were like, normally I'm like the fifth. I'm like the spare wheel. I'm like the spare tire. You are not the spare tire here on the show.
First time I'm not a fifth wheel.
And what do you think of it?
It's great.
It's great. Which tells our listeners that the chair of intoxication is in full effect on Implicit Bias Radio.
Look, I tried. I did. I drank my share. But
See, I knew we were in trouble when before we got through the second segment, he was on pour like 4.
well, look, he and I were simpatico earlier. Like this was really good.
Yeah, well, I made it through the swamp pond.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings us to our co-host, Caleb Morris. Caleb, it's good to be back.
A pleasure.
You glad
I'm
you
so happy to
remembered?
be here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you remembered too, because these are always fun
When I
episodes.
juggle too many things, I drop something, and it happened to be one of my favorite things that I dropped. So
Well, hey, we appreciate that because we like to get your Implicit Bias Radio on the air, and Caleb is a vital part of that. So one of the things that we like to talk about are,
midgets.
Wrestling.
how about this? Wrestling is fun, but the
Put 'em
people,
together?
the people who are just not quite there, and we like to pick on both sides of the aisle.
Most definitely. Yeah.
Because guess what? we believe on this show that, yeah, sure, there are R's, there are D's, but it's all one big club, and we ain't a part of it, to quote the famous George Carlin. But this story jumped out to me. And this one, man, you've just got to have something wired wrong between your ears to do something like this. This is according to the New York Post. Ex-GOP aide paid fetish artist to mutilate her. Claimed it was anti-Trump attack. Court docs listed here.
You said GOP?
She is a former Grand Old Party Republican aide, and she paid someone to carve stuff into her skin to
TDS.
make it look like
Abdomen,
it was
shoulders,
a leftist.
chest.
100% TDS.
What was the guy?
No, this is the thing.
Who was
She was trying to make the left look bad.
Yeah,
This is not a TDS thing.
No,
That's wrong.
who was the
Like,
guy that did this? That was jumped, or said he was jumped.
Wait, no, stop. We got to stop right here because this was, to quote, who's the comedian now that I'm thinking of?
The Machine.
Who's
Josh
the
Bert Kreischer?
No, not Kreischer. Not
Yes,
Kreischer.
yes,
Who's the comedian that had the breakdown,
Jeff
lost his Netflix thing, and then came back?
Jeff Dunham would be hilarious with that.
I'm gonna say his the guy that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
the
I'm
guy-
gonna say his real name, and you're gonna know.
Jeff
Yeah.
Foxworthy.
It's not Jeff Foxworthy. The guy
He's
that
the
you're
guy
talking
that
about.
paid people to attack him.
No, you're thinking about
Tosh.
Juicy Smollett.
Smollett.
Juicy
Jesse
Smollett.
Jesse,
Yeah.
that's what I
Juicy
said.
Smollett. No, there's a comedian though that came out and said Juicy Smollett. Oh God, who?
Well, and this is just
Chappelle. Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, I was
Dave
gonna say.
Chappelle. Yeah, Dave
And
Chappelle.
this is just the next iteration of that. That's what I see, because we have people that are so concerned with likes, follows, shares, and all that they're willing to pay somebody
So stupid.
to attack, harass, and mutilate them. Because they want to be the next story. They want to be the next share. They are that concerned about social media.
Here's the fun part.
I don't think it's political. I think it's just social.
Mental?
This like takes Bubba Wallace and says, "Hold my entire keg of beer and watch what I'm gonna do." Because remember,
She's
Bubba
scarred.
Wallace.
Yeah,
Let's go,
this chick is
Brandon.
scarred for life.
Oh no, and that's first of all, do people not realize that if you carve words into your skin, the scars grow back and it never goes away? Tattoos, absolutely.
I've got some pretty interesting tattoos.
We've been down this avenue. We're not going there because your tattoos are not to try and make it look like a certain group of people did something bad.
They're on his back,
not at all.
lower back, right above.
Yeah,
the buttock.
that's different. Yeah, those are handprints. But and unlike a tramp stamp, she has like a Trump stamp. I mean, her abdomen is horrible. They did all kinds of other stuff to her.
Oh, they did Trump?
Yeah, but I
That's
think
the
it's
point.
Sharpie. I don't know.
She paid
someone
someone to
to
make
do
it
this
look
to
like
her.
leftists carved anti-Trump stuff onto her body.
See, I think that's where we stand different from most everyone. Is that it's just dumb? It's
Well, it's dumb as all get out.
wrong.
So-
like it should be like it honestly should be against the law to fake. Is it?
It
I don't
is.
know. It's a
This
fake
is against
something?
the law.
'Cause
Technically,
usually you
it's-
hear this on the left side of.
So technically, it's filing a false police report if
Yeah.
a police report is filed.
So they didn't.
I didn't even
just-
bother with this. I don't care.
Like
because
Poo-Poo
crazy.
Broussard says, take her outside, shoot her a pellet rifle. I'm like, this is
Cook some rice.
yeah.
Look, technically, I don't care whether she filed a police report or not because this is the fun part. There are a bunch of leftists out there. So if you're on the left side of it and you're like, oh, those implicit bias radio people, they're always hyper conservative. They never talk bad about Republicans. Republicans do nothing wrong. This is wrong. This is stupid.
Yes.
This is moronic. We completely condemn this. And this is where we look at it and go, we are principled here so that this particular person should face criminal charges if they filed a false police report.
100%.
We don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You filed a false police report. Didn't happen. You should go to jail
Well, she tried to frame someone.
for something.
Yes, and this is inciting hateful response
Mm-hmm.
because someone wanted retribution for this,
Oh, I hate that.
and that's like this is just a travesty. It really is.
No, I really hate the hate speech because it really goes down into that that whole thought process, that 1984 of
It does.
what were you thinking? What did you say? And I really don't think Pam Bondi's guilty of it. Like, I don't think people really understand the implications that they have when they say like, "Oh, well, you should have said that," or "This is what you were implying." And
Here's
like,
the problem with hate speech. This is
no
the
such thing.
This is the big problem with hate speech. The allegation of hate speech. God, I just used air quotes. Somebody cut my fingers off.
I've been doing it the whole time. I've
Anyway.
made you do it.
The big problem with hate speech is this. Hate speech has very little to do with the intention of the person who said it. It has more to do with how the message was received by the
Intended.
person who heard it.
I received it incorrectly.
Not even I received it incorrectly. I received it in a way that I think is hate, not how it was necessarily intended
You
by the
mean
person
that-
who said it.
That a victim listened to it from a victim mentality and said that it was bad.
Here's the deal. It's speech. You're not a victim. You're not hurt. You have not been irrevocably harmed
I want
unless,
to be pained.
unless it is slander, libel, or defamation. That's a different thing. But to say, I don't like XYZ is not hate speech, Kathleen.
But you can't control how people react.
Which
Can't
is
control how people take it.
which brings us back to hour one when we were talking about why changing of words and making it more feeling oriented has to happen.
Right.
Because if it's not feeling oriented, if it is legal definition, your feelings don't matter. Just letting
Right,
you
that's
know.
a fact.
Right. Stop changing.
Correct.
That's a fact.
Stop changing and creating euphemisms. Deal in facts. Deal in legally definable words, not ambiguously changeable words that can create issues.
Well, that goes months back to the difference between the truth and my truth.
Well, like,
Months, that's years.
Okay, valid.
like that's what they did with gender, right? Gender
It's been done. Look, it's been
they
done.
changed the definition to like, well, it's whatever you're mentally thinking. Well, that's a mental disease then. Like, in all honesty.
So look, please look this up. Please don't believe us. Years ago, there was a clinical definition of that situation, that terminology, right? And that's why you end up, just in case you're wondering, with shows like Implicit Bias Radio. By the way, Walker just gave me the 1 minute finger. I'm going to tell him where to stick that finger when we come back in the penultimate segment, Walker.
Yes, sir.
Wow. This week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. More coming your way. The penultimate segment of this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio used to be called the Sam Stokes Rest in Peace segment of Implicit Bias Radio. By the way, Sam's not dead. He's
know-
just dead to us because we never hear from him.
I was in Forest Hill this last weekend, and there was a Sam Stokes nursery up there. No relation. I called him and made sure.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. He has a brown thumb.
you forgot to say Sam Stokes, what? Rest in peace.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hence the brown thumb.
You
I'm
can
Kevon
listen to him.
Bordelon. What's that?
You can listen to him on the podcast.
You
can go back. I've
actually
listened to Sam.
you can go back and hear the ghost of Sam Stokes on Implicit Bias Radio if you download all of our episodes on whether it's Google, Spotify, whether it is iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Buzzsprout. You can find us everywhere.
I think
No
the
longer
last
with
thing
us.
he said was an alpaca's a bird, right?
It was close to that. Yeah, he thought an alpaca was a bird.
It's not.
Walker's a
Did he literally just say it's not?
Walker's a big upgrade.
I'll let him answer that.
Is he really? Speaking of which, Walker, I'm curious about something. Let's jump into the stories that we need to talk about on this week's episode of Implicit Bias Radio. We have actually touched on sports here. And Walker has talked a little bit more on this particular episode. You a little more comfortable with sports, Walker?
Yeah, it's easier.
Yeah, it's easier.
Well, so you
Well,
only,
I mean, I listen to politics all day, so it's
Well,
kind of gets.
But I love Walker. It's easier. Ball, kick ball,
Yeah.
ball.
Score.
brown ball, white ball.
Yeah. Okay, so this story actually shocked me, but when I looked into it, I was like, "You serious, Clark?" Especially as we get close to Christmas, that is one of my favorite quotes ever. You serious, Clark? Yes.
Black Friday.
We're serious.
Watching it.
Here's the fun part. So I want to give the actual source on this. 274 Sport on X. Mohammed bin Salman is taking ownership of the Tulane football program and will invest over $1 billion into facilities, recruiting, and branding. He oversees Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, owns Premier League club Newcastle United, and holds an estimated net worth of $25 billion.
Can't be real.
Is it real, Caleb?
I did look.
Wait,
some
you
up.
said 274?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a
Parody.
parody account.
That's the point.
6'7".
Yep.
What?
Dear God.
I got
he
kids.
just did math.
I got kids.
He's, oh, dear Lord.
You know, I took the badges off my truck because it had 6'7" on the side.
Golly.
That's
us
just
all.
Worst thing in the world.
Please, whatever you
Honestly.
do. This is one where I normally say, don't believe us, research this on your own. Please don't research that on your own. Just let that go. Just
Actually-
let that reference go.
No, I heard it was.
No, we're not going down this road,
It's
Paul.
not even a
Paul,
good- it's not a
zippy,
good-
Zippy Longstocking. Thank you.
We should go down it. It's the demonic reference from that guy, the rapper.
wait. It's demonic reference? How?
That's never what I've heard around.
No,
this
100%. I actually saved the video. I'll send it to you.
See, I was told like originally it was like an ESPN sports song or something
Yes.
like he's 6'7",
Yes.
and then they just shortened it.
But
to
where
like,
did it come from before that? It
Oh,
was
I
actually
have
it was this
no clue.
crazy demonic rapper, and he actually goes into it. It's some wording, and it goes into 6'7" of what the term means. And then someone took it and actually did it. It was someone's walkout song for someone that was 6'7" in basketball.
6'7",
Yes.
6'7"
It
tall.
was 6'7".
That's a
and
tall son of a gun.
It's that how it progressed, but the original terminology is demonic. And I
Actually,
literally
I think
just
the
saw it this
original
morning.
terminology is not demonic. Well,
Well,
in a way it could be, but
not the way it was not the way it spread was demonic. The original way it was said.
look,
I don't think it was purposely done.
all I know is this. There are certain things, as Paul is asking people to back him up here.
I mean,
I I have heard that too.
how tall is Shaq?
I mean, we don't let our kids say it.
Shaq is 7'2".
Okay, all right.
Shaq is 7'2". Last I saw.
You
I
ever
need to
saw
Google
Shaq?
this?
Have you seen him?
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah,
I'll
he's
Google.
huge.
It's been a while. He's a massive human
My
being.
brother's 6'5", 6'6", and he's a big son of a gun.
Oh, look, the point here is that we ended up down this rabbit hole because of the
7'1".
whole joke around, the Saudis buying the Tulane brand, which is, I think
It's
funny.
plausible. It really is.
Could be.
Foreign money in sports, I think is a thing. Walker, do you think there's foreign money involved in U.S. sports?
No, yeah.
Why?
Did you say no? Yeah, or
I said, oh, yeah.
Okay, I think
Okay, so wait, that story wasn't true?
No.
I mean, shoot.
We got to edit this
Shasta
again.
Cola.
Kathleen.
Sorry.
Kathleen is taking over
Mark
for
it
Caleb.
down, Walker.
I'm sorry.
Wait till the after hours.
Don't be. Yeah, look, we're gonna try and find some
It's been
bonus
a while
content.
since
The
I've
look
been on
of
here.
sheer disappointment on Walker's face
I know,
is
he's like so mad at
amazing.
me right now.
Look,
He's writing so intently.
Kathleen. I mean, like, we might need to change your nickname.
To what?
I don't know. I mean, I think.
Okay,
the
but
word,
you know I cursed before today.
I think
this
the
is
term,
not a shock.
I think the term blue needs to be involved there somewhere.
Ew.
Somebody will get that reference. Yeah, that's an old reference.
I don't get it. Do you get it?
No.
Caleb?
No.
I'm drinking whiskey.
Yeah,
Oh,
Caleb's
Oh,
not going.
Again.
Never twice without a third time.
Trace.
Wow.
I said it out of the microphone.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, we're
Bring that over.
okay. So the fun part
This-
is it's why we do Implicit Bias Radio, because
I love this
sometimes we
job.
have a little too much fun on the radio. It's why we don't do it live.
I had a guy in today from San Antonio who was looking at the shop and he's like, "Oh, you have birthday bourbon?" I'm like, "Yeah, I sure do." He looks up, he goes, "Oh my God, you have a problem." And I was like, "No, I have a podcast." It's a completely different thing.
What's the problem when he saw all the empty bottles?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah, it's friends. I got friends.
yeah. And we went to a big discussion about like collecting bourbon versus drinking bourbon because, we have a collective friend who collects this stuff and it sits there and gets dusty and nasty and serves no purpose. And we drink it.
More
I'm
empty
trying to think of who
bottles.
this is that doesn't.
Lee.
Oh, Ritter?
Yeah.
Ritter might actually been here tonight, but I had him lined up
Lee,
as a backup.
no, he
in case
collects
somebody
the stuff. He
canceled.
doesn't really drink a whole bunch of it.
Oh no, he does.
No.
He does, but he also over collects, which I
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, and look, love him to death, but
He's the one that introduced me to the phrase, "If you have one, you have none."
yeah, one is none, two is one, three is a spare. So, but it's meant to be enjoyed. You're meant to enjoy the bourbon. You're meant to enjoy the time. You're meant to. This isn't supposed to sit down and not be enjoyed or shared
that
with
rare bottle.
individuals.
Hell
you
And
know?
this is the fun part. The fun part is a lot of these conversations, they don't happen without whiskey, without sitting down and getting to a place where you can be close to offensive, where you can insult people, where you can talk about things you're not supposed to talk about in polite conversation. And 10 seconds in, everybody knows we're all going to still be friends when the conversation's over.
And that's the beauty of it.
100%.
You know, it's we can say offensive things and not be offended.
And that's really the reason why, as we have our studio audience who now thinks that he's got a microphone.
Give that man a
wants
microphone.
He wants to interrupt.
I think
We need more
I
microphones.
love it.
my impersonation of him is
Wait.
This is what it's
I'm
about.
drinking more of your juice.
And he's put bottles on the bar. And for those who don't know, if you would like to be a studio audience of Implicit Bias Radio,
Walker, be ready.
message us through Facebook, through Instagram, through X, through YouTube. Just throw a message in. Hey, I want to attend.
We don't know how to say no.
As my 1-year-old says, no.
Look, I'm not going to say that you're going to be guaranteed an invite, but we do enjoy having fun conversations and watching people's faces when we talk about some of this stuff and they go, wait, you just said what? Yeah, we said it on the radio and we said it on the internet. We said it with whiskey and we're having a fantastic time.
Unapologetically and unabashedly, like, we are who we are.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the beauty of this is what we say here is what we say at home. What we say at home is what we say in public. We're not someone different on Sunday than we are on Monday.
And that's why I get in trouble for cursing.
And that's your implicit bias. Cheers. Final segment right after this. Sometimes I'm just really glad that I missed what happened during the break. That's what happened just now with Caleb and Kathleen and Paul at the bar. It's been a fantastic show. If you've missed any of it, make sure that you find us wherever you can get podcasts, like Google, Spotify, YouTube, Apple,
Yep.
all the platforms. Buzzsprout, which is one of the primary, whether it's YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to all of them. What, Paul? I know.
I was
Marine,
counting. I was
Marine,
trying to
you got
count.
past 3 fingers.
It's going
and-
through all those same ones, but I was waiting for Walker to jump in, like, we're on Grinder too, right?
No, Walker, just you. Anyway,
One day,
Shorts.
one day I'm going to get him with that one. One day.
okay.
You
So
not?
we do always try and keep it Catholic on this show. And apparently it's been a
Horrible
tough
segue.
time for Kathleen because the number of S-bombs Kathleen has dropped. Yeah, Kathleen, you got to own it. You got to own it.
Okay, yeah, I've dropped a few.
Okay, it's all right.
It's just 3.
Yeah, it's just three.
three.
But to be fair,
I'm usually
Not
pretty
even
good
the whole
about
number.
that.
It's been 4.
Oh,
There was one off the mic too.
she needs 3 more to be the holy number. That's what it is.
I think really
It was an accident.
Don't give up.
We had a guy by the name of Whiskey Pete out of Houston on the show. I think he's the only guest who has cursed more on an episode than Kathleen has.
He was a lot of fun.
Ha! I have a record.
No, you don't have a record. He
I know,
way
but for the
eclipsed you.
girls.
This is true. For the
Whiskey
ladies, you
Pete
do.
was a lot of fun. That
Okay.
was Prideful Goat.
Prideful Goat, correct.
yeah.
Yeah, we had, dear Lord, we had multiple ryes, bourbons, cognacs. That was an interesting show.
I think I shouldn't have driven that night.
But this is maybe the story that I think we need to get back to because this story helps us verify a lot of what is going on that needs to be verified because people, a lot of times, God bless you, Caleb, people don't think
Thank
that
you.
references to that book that we referenced at the beginning of the show are real.
The Bible?
Correct.
Oh.
It's 2,000 years old. And believe it or not, there are more historical references in that book that can be verified than pretty much any other book on the planet. Please don't believe me on this.
Just Google.
Not even verified. Not disproven.
Well, disproven's a whole nother thing, but verified is
100%.
a big deal. And I love the fact that Harvard is in a bit of a conundrum now. Because Harvard underwent an archaeological excavation. I'm glad I got those words out in the final segment of this week's show because we've been through a
That was
number of
way
these
better than
listings.
my verbiage earlier. I'll tell you that right now.
What, archaeological excavation?
Yeah, I don't even remember what I was trying to say earlier. It was bad.
Shocker. Anyway,
What was it?
so long story short, Harvard goes out and starts
It's a hard H every time you
excavating.
say it.
Harvard.
Yeah.
Yeah. They start excavating basically the seafloor in the Middle East, the Red Sea. What might you expect to find in the Middle East, in the Red Sea, on the seafloor?
Well, it's not.
Water.
It's not just anywhere. It's the specific place they were, where there was a strait, where there was a land bridge, and that if you were going to part the sea, this would be the place you would go.
And here's the fun part. The fun part is, unlike some of the stories we talked about around sports, like the the parody that the cartels were funding UTEP Sports, University of Texas, El Paso, right? That was a joke. Like the Saudis funding Tulane Sports, that's a joke. This story is 100% real.
I tried, like, as much as I want science to prove our faith, it didn't. It proved it.
You want science to try and disprove
I want
faith.
science to try to disprove it so that people see who we are, see what we believe, and come to the fold.
But I actually think science proving our faith helps
better.
even more.
Yeah.
Charles Heston did it.
Charlton Heston did it. Yep.
100%.
Right? This was absolutely... So if you read the Bible, at the strait on the Red Sea where you would want to cross it, what might you expect to find at the bottom of the Red Sea? Because if we all know the story, the Red Sea parted so that some people could cross. And then when other people in pursuit were trying to cross...
Wagon wheels, chariots, armor, skeletons.
So what did they find?
He said, what should you find? Not what shouldn't you find?
No, that's the point,
That's
though.
what you should find.
That's
if you believe what we believe.
If you believe what we believe, that's what you should find. You would find
for
basically
over a mile
an army at the bottom of the Red Sea.
Not even just a mile, a straight line
So let's
of a mile.
think about what was found. And here's the details. So yes, Harvard archaeologists pulled the Indiana Jones and went looking at the strait in the Red Sea and went to the bottom of the Red Sea. And what did they find? They found human bones lined up. They found the bones of horses. Well, why would horses be? Well, what pulled chariots?
They were amphibious.
No.
They had webbed feet. Yes. No.
Yeah.
They literally, so you have the bones of humans, horses, you have armor, you have chariots, you have wheels.
And not just chariots in general. It's the proper spoke configuration, width of a chariot at the time.
Right, of the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
Configuration,
that's 100%.
everything else that coincides with historical data.
So my question is this. What more do people need? What more do we as a species need to see?
Well, and see that question, therein lies the rub or the fallacy, because people will always need more. Where we rely on faith to show us the way. Some people will always say, well, God, give me one more answer.
I think if you can go by the faith, and then like if you take that initial step. So growing up Catholic, in high school, I went to church to, see who was going to church, if you know what I mean. and then it took the Marine Corps. I got back and I said, all right, I'm gonna start going back to church because this is really difficult. And then it got to the point where, my first marriage, was like, man, we're missing something. And we went to different churches. And then my current wife, of where we are now, it's like, all right, this priest is talking to me. And then I actually took it to the method of finding more of why. I was raised Catholic. I know that I've been missing something this whole time. And if you truly and honestly go down the path of searching.
Yeah.
Saying,
If you read
100%, like, okay, why do they say the Blessed Virgin Mary? Why do they say this? Why is this?
Here's
if you go down that rabbit hole and what's the guy, the
Scott Hahn.
nope, the famous book.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Nope, that is a famous book, but
Well,
not of the Bible. It's
Enoch.
no. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
People we struggle no matter what, right? And look, we've all been there at some point. I've been in a grocery store behind someone, and God's like, hey, pay for her groceries. And I'm like, yeah, funny. Well, if her credit card gets declined again, I'll pay for them.
Yeah,
Declined.
dude.
I'm like, oh God, yeah. If her card gets declined again, they tell her that her zip code's wrong. I'll pay her groceries.
I'll give her.
So here's what I
happens
love.
again.
And here's where we're heading. And this is, I think, is the human problem. Y'all know that I love quotes from movies that I think apply to life. You find some universal truths every now and then in some of the dumbest places. And this one actually comes from the Santa Claus, the movie. And I love that we're heading into Christmas.
Is that with
Tim Allen?
Tim Allen. Okay,
Yep.
yeah.
The quote is this: seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing. And that to me is the big thing here. when you actually believe, it allows you to see all of it. And it's what we need for those people who may not see your implicit bias. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We hope you have a fantastic weekend. We will see you in 7 when you have another pour, when you have another weekly whiskey, and you're willing to talk about the things we're not supposed to discuss in polite conversation on your Implicit Bias Radio. Cheers.